So you guys are in the middle of a project and you can't get anywhere because marketing, engineering, sales, and stakeholders can't finally come to a decision and push the project forward. We've all been there, guys. And there's a few different things that we can do as designers to help push the process forward, avoid design by committee, and see things come to fruition. A lot of these concepts are taken directly from the latest edition of Innovation Magazine. The designer Marshall Johnson wrote an article called It's a Matter of Choice. It's excellent. I recommend that you guys go check it out. I'm going to hit on some of the main points that he mentions in here, expound on them a little bit, because it's just awesome. And I think that it's going to really make a difference for you in your design process. There's a problem when you put a ton of concepts on the wall. You can give people overchoice, which is a real thing. Too many options can give people analysis paralysis and they're not able to move forward because there's just so many things. FOMO, man. Fear of missing out, because if you go with this direction, you're sacrificing one or the other. Don't put too many concepts out there. I can't give you a magic number of how many is just enough. In the article, Marshall Johnson talks about using just 5. Earlier on in the magazine, Tucker Viemeister mentions doing 3. To each his own. But one common thing that they did mention in both of their articles was the importance of having one throwaway concept. Now be careful with this one, guys, because sometimes they pick the red herring. And if it's something that's not attainable, manufacturable, and doable, and it's just so bad that you wouldn't want to tie your name to it, don't put it on the table. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna throw away the red herring and move on to some better options. So I wouldn't overanalyze it too much. There is value in having something that they can just throw away because there's validation as the client that I've been involved in the design process and making decisions. So I chose not to do that. So I see the value. There's a reason to have a red herring in the mix, but be careful. Second thing that's really important to consider as you guys are putting these projects together is the timing of your specific meetings. Having pointless meetings is no fun. In fact, if you're going to have a meeting, it's even suggested, Marshall even suggests that you make them no refreshments and no chairs. Just have everybody stand, cut to the chase. Nobody cares which favorite smear you put on what bagel. Let's just get to the point and talk about the project itself. You should have a meeting early on with the people who are involved in the process. So specifically like engineering. Talk with engineering and get a list of their concerns, jot them down, sketch it in front of them, use those skills. There's no competition here between engineering and design. We're supposed to be a family here working together, folks. People will push out engineering, then we have design. Design does their thing. Engineering comes back with plot holes and says, this is gonna make it not work. And at that point, you've already been committed to something. When really, if you just collaborated early on in the process and talked amongst each other and addressed concerns, you would have been able to streamline this and get it done a lot faster. So talk with engineering, but not only talk with them, make it a point, even if you're not in love with whatever concept some engineers have come up with, but still make it a point to do some sketch work, to do some concepts that specifically include their points, the things that they talked about with you. One, it's a really good professional tactic to do that because you're validating them as a professional because they've put years of time and effort into becoming who they are today, and their opinion matters. So seeing you say, I understand that. I recognize that you have this concern and this is your proposed solution. I'll at least show this in this concept that was a valid point. Okay, here it is. And whether you're totally in love with it or not, doing that gesture and implementing some feedback from other people into your design work is going to go over so well and help you in the long run because you've just won an ally. When you're making a single product, say a drill, a drill, make 3 versions of it. Make your good version, your better version, and your best version. And that seemed like a given, but what I'm saying is by presenting 3 polished deliverables of the same exact thing, the question no longer is this the right design direction, this CMF, this form factor, it is no longer about that anymore. It is now about, well, which features do we want to have on this thing? Do we want it to just have the baseline at this price point? Or do we want it to have this midpoint price point and have more stuff? And then, or do we want to have the super whoopee awesome version? Or they look at all of these different options and they pick all of them. If you have ideas on ways that we can take the design process, smooth it over, have positive interaction with people that are on our teams, and get to the final result quicker, throw them down in the comments. We'd love to hear them. In the meantime, keep designing, and we'll see you next time.